multiple projects. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, and also a resource view as we wrap this up. So in the demos folder, again, you have some demo 5 files. These are 3 project files, and I can select all 3 of those, and we'll say OK. And what it's going to do now is it's going to open up all 3 of those projects, and in this case, they're read-only. Had I had those projects already pre-opened, I could say add active projects, or from right inside a project, I could use the visibility create from all open projects is another way to do this. And we're going to end up with a swim lane for each one of the projects. And because these projects have common custom task fields, I can do some interesting things with them. Let's take a look. One of the first things I want to do is just change the page width to kind of stretch things out a bit. There we are. Now notice that our algorithms, even though we're trying to compress this as much as possible, we weren't able to put design up next to analysis and software requirements. But if I right-click on this and go back to that task, notice that that task has a short name, REQ, for requirements. And if I were to apply the short name fields, let's see what happens. Now it does a relayout, and notice that we are able to get it all on one row. I'm going to go to date markers that toggle switch and turn them off. And one other thing I might do is go under my conditional formats and see the phases colorized. Now, if you look over here on the left, the project names don't have a lot of room, but simply click on the right border. Notice it becomes a line. I can drag that line to a new position and give more space for the titles. And that is remembered on refresh, too, by the way. Now, I'm going to change the task height. Right now it's medium. I guess I'll leave it at that. What I want to show, because I'm running out of time here, is the resource view. So these projects have shared resources. When I click on resource view, I'm given a list of those shared resources. And maybe I have a group that is Brad Sutton, Bradley Beck, and Bonnie. And I want to take a look at the tasks that they're working on. Okay, and maybe in this case too, I want to see the project names, so those tasks that belong to certain projects colorized. If I look here, and I'm going to turn off shading too. If I look here, I can hover over a task, and you'll see that it tells me who's working on that task. So Brad Sutton's at 10%, Bonnie Kearney's at 90%. Notice the height of the task for Bonnie is much taller than it is for Brad. It does show up down here. In fact, one of the nice things that we have is also the ability to, let's just select all these interval shapes, and I'm going to hide the text. So now we can look at it on their allocation this way, where we really don't care about the tasks. We want to just see if they're over or under allocated. And maybe we want to see which tasks are critical and which ones aren't. So this is a critical task. This task we may want to push out to like April, so I can hyperlink to that task, change the dates, save it, refresh, and come back.